Manny Pacquiao, the world's #1 fighter and 7-time world champion, continues to fight anyone, anywhere. And now he takes on his biggest challenge yet. Pacquiao faces devastating brawler and former world champion Joshua Grandmaster Clottey. Pacquiao, Clottey, the event. Saturday, March 13th, live on pay-per-view. The former British colony of Ghana has a grand boxing tradition. In addition to Joshua Clottey, Ghana has produced such luminaries as David Kotel, Ike Corte, and Hall of Famer Azuma Nelson.
You know, Ghana has produced a lot of great fighters over the years. And Joshua Clottey, when I've talked to him about that, he is very aware of the best guys that have come from this country and wants to emulate them in his own career.
Clottey also shares his countryman's chief trait.
There is a determination there. You can, cliche, you can call it a heart. There is a heart there. These kids come out of Ghana and they can go right on the world stage. They don't even need a holding anchor. They go right out on the world stage as top-notch, world-ranked fighters. And Joshua Clottey is one of them.
Clottey has known struggle all his life. In his early days as a young fighter, he practiced with subpar equipment.
The blood that you use to spar can cut off the fighter. If the fighter has a fight, the blood and everything is bad. Even the ring that we fought in is not good.
Though his home life was no better, it instilled in Clottey a laser-like focus on his goals.
He had nothing. The kid lived in a room with 15 people, you know, so he had nothing. Now he has something. So the hunger to get even more, to bring it back to his country and his family, to help them have a future. Because without this, none of them would have a future.
Despite the hardships both he and his people face every day, Clottey takes obvious pride in his homeland.
It's a small country, see, but everybody in it are very lovely. It's a very, very peaceful country. And everybody that supports you always want you to be good in the sports. They love victory. They want you to be good. They want you to win your fight, to make them happy. That's the only thing that they want from you.
I think the country relies on these kind of guys to help keep them looking forward, you know, because they have nothing over there.
When Clottey faces Manny Pacquiao inside Cowboy Stadium, all of Ghana will be watching.
They know Pacquiao very, very well because Pacquiao is all over the world.
In all of his previous battles, Clottey has more than held his own, no matter the circumstances. When Clottey fought Antonio Margarito in 2006, he did so with severe injuries to both hands.
And yet, here comes Clottey, coming right on, even with 2 hurt hands, 1 broken, right into the last round, and he's giving as good as he's getting. And yes, he lost, but he was a no-handed fighter that night.
In 2008, the world got to see what a healthy Clottey is capable of when he took on welterweight champion Zab Judah. Like Manny Pacquiao, Judah is a speedy southpaw, but Clottey neutralized Judah's quickness and came away with the title in an impressive showing.
And Joshua Clottey really just took Zab Judah out of his game plan. The speed difference didn't make that much, and Joshua made him quit. And I think that showed to me that Joshua Clottey was a legitimate world-class welterweight.
From Accra, Ghana, Joshua.
The victory made him a hero to his people in Ghana.
Yeah, I mean, listen, parades they give him. He goes to the president's palace. I mean, they treat him like, you know, like a king. Because he strived for that belt and he brought the belt home for his country.
Then came his bout against Miguel Cotto. The two collided last June in New York's legendary Madison Square Garden on the eve of the Puerto Rican Day Parade, an annual event that draws thousands of Puerto Rican fans to cheer on one of their own, Cotto. Initially, Clottey was taken aback by the enormity of it all, but he soon accepted the scope of the fight as a sign that he'd finally made it.
I love the crowd, the way they shouting. That makes you a boxer. That makes you somebody in the game.
Clottey proved he deserved to be there, displaying both his defense and punching power.
Cotto knows that if he stay there, I'll keep throwing. He'll keep hitting. That's why I keep running on.
Despite his tremendous efforts, A controversial split decision gave Cotto the victory. Many felt it should have gone the other way, including Manny Pacquiao, who was in the crowd that night, sizing Cotto up in advance for his own fight.
I think that fight, I thought Clottey won the fight.
I thought he won. It was a controversial loss to Cotto. And if you looked at the two fighters' faces after that, and you hadn't heard yet the judges' scorecards, there was no question in your mind's eye that Clottey was the winner.
I mean, he was beat up beyond belief, you know, at the end of the fight when I saw him. So.
It was just one more example of the edge Clottey has walked between victory and defeat.
He's done very well against the best fighters when he stays them, whether it's Margarito or Judah or Cotto. I mean, the reality is, if you take those 3 fights, which are his biggest fights, he has the win against Judah. He could certainly have the win against Cotto, and if he doesn't get injured, maybe he's 3-0 against those 2 guys.
There will be no opportunities for maybes or second guessing of any kind inside Cowboy Stadium on March 13th. When Clottey touches gloves with Manny Pacquiao, he will have to summon every ounce of instinct, intellect, and courage he possesses, and combine them all to make the showing of his life.